Hello again, and welcome to this time of collaboration, which concerns Rhyncostylis Giganteas or Gigantea, which I would say in Finnish. And I happen to have two of them, and I'm going to tell you a story how I have learned to live with them, which is actually telling itself its own story, so you can actually guess what happened. This has been a journey with these ones, and before I get into my story, I want to tell all the participating channels I'm sure somebody else is going to tell you where they are from, what's their background. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to tell you more about what I've been experiencing with these ones. Both of them I bought 2019 from our Orchid Society show, and these were like this one I bought from Karke, and it was a seedling. The smallest leaves have withered away, so it was really small. I think this was first one of mine. There's the second. Yeah, there's really small leaf underneath there. So this one was the red spot. I think I wanted to have the cartoon variety, but nobody had that time. I did report for this one last fall before the winter came in, and as you can see, it's been growing quite well. So each leaf has been bigger than the other one, and this is still growing, so it's not that fast. And with this one, I didn't do anything differently. So it came within the bark. I put it back into the bark in a bark mix, and I've been keeping it in the bark mix. And it seems to have been working with this one in my environment. And the bark is this size, and it seems to be loving it. I have a little bit slow releasing fertilizer in there because during the winter time it's really warm here. I don't have time to actually feed them. Sometimes I just have to water quickly. So this is the way of compensating that and making sure that they get something weak in their water. So it's not going to be just plain water. In my environment, where I live in Finland, it's quite warm nowadays because of the climate changing. So we get like close to 30 degrees Celsius during the days, almost 1 month during our summertime. We consider summertime from June to July, perhaps nowadays even August, and we might sometimes, some years, we might actually get snow during the Midsummer Festival. So the spring is quite cold, and it's really, you don't know if it's going to be warm the next day or 2 days after, or is it going to be cool. So that's why, for example, I'm not ordering any plants which cannot stand any coolness or coldness before beginning of May. So that's why I'm usually buying something else to prepare myself for the summer. And yeah, these go outside during the summertime. I have now greenhouse. I just moved, so I'm not sure how well I'm getting light into that during the summertime. I have balcony, so I can actually have, this is south facing balcony. In Finland, the sun is not that strong, so for example, my strongest ones, which can actually stand the really strong sun, they are staying without any shade netting. Some of my Cattleyas need 30 to 40% of shade netting in order for them not to burn. So that's like, depends on the Cattleya. And yeah, that's actually made it possible for most of my cattleyas to bloom, because I had the summer outside. Because during the summertime the temperature drops during the evenings. It goes to 18 degrees if it's close to 30, and it might go close to 15 degrees if it's less than that. And because I have south-facing windowsill in my last place as well, and it was a brick wall, the heat was enormous, so it went up to 40 degrees on the when it was out in the sun. So it was quite warm there. And so these have been outside, but they were shaded with the shade netting inside the greenhouse, the small one. And next year, if some of them cannot get good enough sunlight, I might actually have some light bulbs outside in the greenhouse, just to have them have that coolness of nights, because that's really nice for them to actually have this separation between the day and night. And the best part for the cool nights has been in my previous apartment. Don't know what's the measurements going to be here, I need to check them, has been that they have actually had almost 80% humidity during the nighttime. So even though it's really hot and dry during the daytime, unless I'm watering them, there is that nighttime drop in temperature, which has been really fun and good for them. And what else I can tell you? Well, the problem is the winters, because we get below 0 quite Celsius, and we have really dark and long winter. It means for the altitude I'm living in, I get a little bit above 5 hours per day sunlight during the darkest time in winter, and I have to supplement lighting. So I'm giving them something like then 10 hours per day during the winter time, and slowly increasing the supplementing light for them for the spring. And when they can go out, I'm going to put them out for the summertime. And because now I have balcony with glazing, I might have a different experience with this summer. So let's see, we're going to learn together. So this was the red spots, no issues, growing well, getting bigger. And then we have this little thing, and you can actually see what I did wrong here. So this had more leaves, but all of the leaves, and this I had to cut off because I think there was some sort of bugs in there. Yeah, I put it into 2 airy mix, and into I had only this chunky bark inside there, so I changed it into that sort of pot which the other one, the spots, was, and it started going downhill. It lost all its roots, and oh, happy sap, that's great. I need to wash it. So yeah, it's just, you can see that the leaves started getting smaller and smaller, and then finally when I got it bounced back, I had really a lot of sphagnum inside them, with that sort of like normal pots. I think it was 15 centimeters pot, and this one grew out of it, and it lost almost all of its roots, and I had like two roots left. And this summer, when it was outside in the greenhouse and with all the water I was giving it, and I could see 3 to 4 new roots. One of them is here. And as I didn't have big enough pots, so I made a little bit of, there's actually inside there, if you can see, there's this plastic. So it's keeping the water inside there, so it's trapping the water, so this can actually wick water with the sphagnum which I have here. And I have this, I think it's size 5 bark with it, and that way it's getting enough aeration. It has big enough pot, but there is this little part here at the bottom where you can actually have a little bit water left, so the roots are going down and they can have some water. And what else I would say? Yeah, I do have some little cuts in that plastic, so it's not going to be sitting in the water. It's keeping it moist enough to trap some moisture inside there. So as you can see, this leaf was shorter, but this one was a little bit taller, so it's coming close to this one with the happy sap. And now I'm waiting and hoping that this one is going to be bigger than the previous one, if I'm lucky. But these are really slow. Oh, and I forgot to tell you which one this was. So this was Rhyncostylis Gigantea or Gigantea Peach. And this one I got from Curling. And yeah, I've been happy with both of them. I feel like the Rhyncostylis are suitable in my environment, as long as I do have the right kind of media with them. I don't have currently any humidifier on here, so it's really dry, like 20%. And I'm not sure if I'm going to ever get one. And this room which these are living, it's constant 23 to 24 degrees when the lights are on, and it goes down to 20 when the lights go off. And I do give them a shower every month, and that's just to keep the bugs at bay. And because my room is so warm and dry, and because my bathroom is even warmer, so they dry out really fast, so I don't even have to worry if there is like water in the ground. So it's kind of easy growing in this sort of kind of environment. But yeah, that's all about my Giganteas and how I grow them, what's the environment is like, how I take care of them. Oh, and the feeding, before I forget. The feeding is so that I usually tend to use, it's called Rain Mix, but I don't have it now anymore. So I just bought something from the market, which has seaweed extract in it. It doesn't say how much. It's for orchids, but because I have the TDS meter, I can measure for myself. So when I fill the bucket, I generally give during the winter time from 100 ppm to 150 for everyone. And now that they seem to have started, one of them has decided to grow, I'm going to bring it up to 200, 250, and I can give them more often that fertilizer which has the seaweed extract. Our tap water is really soft, and TDS is around 45 to 65 ppm, so it's quite okay to give that. And yeah, I also supplement sometimes Calmac and some Epsom salt, and if I have the Rain Mix fertilizer, which I'm giving during the summertime, I usually give it like 300 ppm, maybe even more if they are growing really hard and they are big Cattleyas. But generally I don't do that unless I know that I'm going to repot them soon, because I have the slow release fertilizer in there, so I don't like to go over 300 during the summertime. And the sun just barely go down during the summer, so we have 22 hours long days, and that's quite a lot for the plants, so I guess that might explain why they can handle that much fertilizer. And I give it every week, and once a month I give just plain waters just to flush them. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this journey with me, and I'm really looking forward for what is up with everyone else with their own Giganteas. Bye!